Hello there, welcome to ITV News Meridian.
Tonight's headlines where you are. Access all areas calls for a star rating for high street shops in the Thames Valley to show how disability friendly they are.
There might be a porter ramp available to get round steps, but unless you know it's available, you don't know to ask for it.
Good news for household bills, set to fall 7% on average this winter. But do changes to the energy price cap go far enough, and how long will they last?
Also this Friday, a summer camp to remember for these young footballers after a surprise visit from one of their heroes.
And are you going to Reading? Well, if you're a festival goer or not, I'll have the full August bank holiday weekend weather forecast later in the programme.
Good evening. A woman from Hartley Witney in North Hampshire is calling for a star rating system to be introduced in high street shops so customers can tell how accessible they are.
Nikki Stowe, who uses a wheelchair, says it can often be difficult to get in and out of shops and restaurants, but there's no way of knowing which places are disability friendly.
Well, according to research by the charity Scope, businesses are missing out on millions of pounds of trade because they don't do enough to help people with disabilities. Penny Sylvester reports.
Nikki Stowe says there are loads of places on the high street she can't go into.
You physically can't get in with the wheelchair because there's a step and a 90-degree turn.
She wants a national rating system to be introduced through an app or window stickers so customers can see information straight away about things like wheelchair ramps or customer service.
The amount of places that you go in and there isn't a disabled toilet, but you don't know that until you get there. There might be like a porter ramp available to get round steps, but unless you know it's available, you don't know to ask for it.
A recent refurbishment at Oriel Wine Shop has taken the needs of disabled people into account, but the owner says for some businesses in the village it's much more challenging.
2 doors either side, they've got a lower basement, we've got higher up, next door is on the level of the street, so the pavements are all over the place. We've only literally got one level to come down, so yes, in some respects you've got to work with what you've got. These are old buildings, 150, 170 years old at least, and you've just got to try and make the best you can, really.
In nearby Basingstoke, navigating a way through the current cost of living crisis is proving difficult for traders as they try to keep their heads above water. But research by the charity Scope says that 75% of disabled people and their families have walked away from a UK business because of poor accessibility or customer service.
It's good business to actually make things accessible and to reduce the barriers. And I think if businesses think that about disabled customers and the purple pound, then it might make them more amenable to some sort of rating system.
Campaigners say businesses that do make changes to their workplace to help disabled people could tap into a multi-million-pound market. Penny Sylvester, ITV News, Hartley Witney.
For more on this, let's talk to Paralympic equestrian and multiple gold medal winner Sophie Christiansen, CBE. Sophie, I was going to start by listing all your medals, but we'll be here all day. So we'll just talk about the issue. What do you think needs to be done about getting greater access? What needs to be done about it?
Yeah, well, I think the main issue is that businesses don't know their responsibilities. So I will go to my corner shop and they won't have a ramp for me to get in my wheelchair. Now, this is actually breaching the Equality Act, so they are liable for legal action. But when I pointed out, they just aren't aware of it. So we need the government and the local councils to help educate businesses on their responsibilities.
I mean, do you have any sympathy with the argument that some businesses may not have the space or there might be in a listed building? Have you heard those kind of arguments before?
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm really empathetic. If there's 3 or 4 steps to get into your business. I get that you can't make a ramp out of that, but equally I offer empathy in return. If you can make changes, you really should. And a lot of the time I hear from businesses, oh, well, we can't afford it. But you spend money on your able-bodied customers, on advertising, on making their customer experience better. Why are you ignoring disabled people who just want to spend our hard-earned money in your shop?
They seem like pretty reasonable arguments to me. Sophie, we are out of time, sadly, but thank you very much for talking to us. Thank you.
Thanks.
Some headlines now on the wreckage of a replica Spitfire which crashed in West Oxfordshire has been removed from the scene. 68-year-old Trevor Bailey died when the light aircraft he was piloting came down in a field not far from the A44 at Enstone on Tuesday. The nearby Chew Road has now been reopened. The Air Accident Investigation Branch is investigating the cause of the crash. Anyone with photos or footage is being urged to get in touch.
As figures reveal, 6 churches have fallen victim to arson attacks already this year. Communities are being encouraged to take steps to stop it happening. In 2015, All Saints in Fleet in Hampshire was devastated by fire. It caused £4.5 million of damage. The rebuild was only recently finished after a 7-year restoration project. Insurers are advising churches to use their buildings as much as possible and to keep internal doors shut.
There's been an increase in the number of cases of cruelty to dogs. The RSPCA says it's seen a 6% rise up to more than 11,000 cases in Hampshire last year. They include reports made about intentional harm, neglect and abandonments. The charity says it doesn't know the reason behind the increase, although the cost of living crisis and the effects of COVID has created an animal welfare crisis.
Thames Valley Police are using 2 drones to help keep people safe at the Reading Festival. They're among a number of devices used by the force for everything from finding missing people to combating crime. Thousands of people are attending the festival, which runs until Sunday.
We're using, at the moment, the M300 and the M30T. We'll probably use the M30T more because it's a little bit nimble and to use, but as night comes in, because the M30 has a spotlight on it that will sort of light up a football size picture, that gives us the ability to direct officers to locations at night and to also safeguard people on the towpath and around the festival site.
An England cerebral palsy footballer from Banbury has made it to the summit of Africa's highest mountain, Kilimanjaro. Harry Baker, who has competed at 3 European Championships and 4 World Cups, is raising money to help people access education in East Africa. The 26-year-old got into difficulty once he made it to the top of the mountain due to the high altitude and exhaustion and had to be airlifted down to the medical clinic. But Harry says he was really proud to make it to the top.
The different terrains made it really, really difficult, especially with my cerebral palsy as well. I stumbled quite a few times, I even fell over a couple of times. I think due to the altitude it made it really hard to get to the top, but I pushed through that and eventually made it to the summit, which was beautiful, even in a difficult situation.
Well done, Harry.
Yes,
Couldn't do that.
Yes, huge congratulations. It's good to see him looking safe and well as well. Now you're watching ITV News Meridian in the Thames Valley. Still to come.
Keep on walking away, Renee. The secret to staying fit at 103.
And there has been some sunny spells across the region today, but with low pressure in control for the weekend, there will be some further showers. Full forecast details in 15 minutes.
Plenty more from us, of course, online. All the details on the screen, itv.com/Meridian. 0808 1010 095 is the number, and follow us on social media.
The latest energy price cap has been announced, with household bills set to fall by an average of 7% this winter. That's around £150. The energy regulator Ofgem sets the cap, which limits the amount a supplier can charge per unit of gas or electricity.
But the cap is still £700 more than it was in 2021. In a moment, we'll speak to consumer group Which about how it will affect bills this winter. First, Catherine Walker has more details.
From the 1st of October, the energy price cap will be set at £1,923. That's down from £2,074. The new cap applies to everyone who isn't on a fixed deal with their supplier. But remember, it's based on the average household and it's the rate that's capped. So the more energy you use, the more you will pay. And most will still be paying more for their energy than they did last winter. The government is no longer offering households £400 towards their bills, and no other support has been announced. But for those on a prepayment meter, the government has promised to bring charges in line with direct debit customers. This means the energy price cap should be the same for all forms of payment. Bills are expected to rise again in January, wiping out the gains made this time round.
Well, we can talk to Lisa Webb now from consumer advice group Which. Lisa, thank you for talking to us today. Now, the lowering of the price cap sounds like it would be good news for households, but as we heard Catherine say there are some caveats to consider, and this winter could be just as tough.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's good news that the prices are coming down a bit on the per kilowatt hours. The problem that we're seeing, though, is that this year we won't be getting the help from government, the £400 that everyone saw last winter. And those standing charges have gone up a tiny bit too. So unfortunately, it does look a little bit as though people will either be paying around the same as they were paying last year or maybe even more.
So what can people do practically to lower their bills? Is now time to take out a fixed payment plan perhaps, or are there attractive deals to be had by switching?
So it'll depend on everybody's individual circumstances as to whether or not it's worth switching. If there are any deals out there that you spot where the fix is lower than the current price cap, it's really worth having a look at. But I would say make sure you keep an eye on any exit fees in that contract, because if the cap does come down again, you might want to switch away and you don't want to get smacked with hefty leaving fines. But what I would say is, rule of thumb generally, don't fix for longer than a year and don't fix for anything higher than what you're currently paying.
And rising numbers of people are still having trouble with paying their energy bills. Some have debts. What advice is there for them if they're really worried about repayments?
Absolutely. We know that energy debt is through the roof, so it's not surprising that people are struggling. If anyone is struggling, please speak to people, because there are helpful people and organisations out there. There are grants available through local authorities and through charities. The energy companies themselves are under an obligation as well to help you pay your bills. So they should be offering, for example, payment holidays or ways for you to spread the cost. But whatever you do, please don't suffer in silence. Please pick up the phone and speak to your local authority and your energy company.
Lisa Webb from Which, thank you for talking to us today.
Now the ITV Evening News continues with the national and international stories at 6:30. With the details for us tonight, here's Lucrezia Millerini.
The stare now etched into history. This mugshot of Donald Trump, the first of a former sitting US president after his arrest in Georgia, will bring you the latest reaction. A reduction in the energy price cap for homes across the nations, but will it make a difference this winter? And how NASA is planning to bring supersonic travel back down to Earth. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Let's get your sport now. Sarah's here. Sarah.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Well, as our football teams get stuck into their new seasons on the pitch, off it, they've been busy supporting their young fans during the school holidays. At Reading this week, midfielder Charlie Savage made a surprise visit to one of the town's holiday camps, giving young people the chance to learn more about his career. Mel Bloor reports.
Xero accounting software. Sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
It's not every day you get to meet a professional footballer, but that's exactly what happened for these children attending this special summer football camp.
It was amazing. I didn't know about this at all. It's really cool.
What was it like meeting Charlie Savage?
Very good, and I hopefully meet him in a game or a match.
And did you get to speak to him, and what did you say to him?
When he was his birthday, how was his childhood and all of that stuff.
Inspired by England footballer Marcus Rashford and run by Reading FC Community Trust, the camp is open to children who receive free school meals. The idea is they get to eat nutritious food while taking part in mental health boosting activities with new friends.
Physical activity is one of the most important things in having a healthy lifestyle, and if you're not able to access that at a young age, that can have a massive impact on your health and well-being throughout later life. So for them to be able to access this regardless of their affluence and their parents' or families' wealth is really important, and it's great to be able to offer that to everybody.
Having only just joined Reading, Charlie already has one goal under his belt for the club and is now hoping to inspire the next generation of footballers.
Yeah, it's obviously nice to give back to the community. I'm a big believer in giving back to the people who support the club, so yeah, it means a lot to me. Even if one of these boys I inspire today, or girls, to play football or get more active, that's the aim of today.
Mel Blore, ITV News, Reading.
Now back on the pitch, and Brighton are looking to maintain their 100% start to the new season when they host West Ham United at the Amex tomorrow. The Hammers will be seeking revenge. In March they suffered a 4-0 defeat at the hands of the Seagulls.
We would like to finish tomorrow evening in the top of the table with 9 points, but we know the difficulty of the game, the level of the difficulty of the game. We respect West Ham, but we want to push.
And the rest of our region's fixtures see Bournemouth hosting Tottenham. In the Championship, Southampton are at home to QPR. Oxford looking to extend their run with victory over Charlton. Portsmouth are at Stevenage, while in League Two, Swindon Town host at Crawley. Finally, in cricket, both the men's and women's Southern Brave teams are playing in the final stages of the 100 this weekend, with the women playing either Welsh Fire or Northern Superchargers at Lords on Sunday, and the men up against Manchester Originals tomorrow. Good luck to them both.
Good luck, Sarah. Thank you very much.
Now, the August bank holiday weekend means one thing. Festivals, of course, for many people. Reading is underway with more than 100,000 people at the Richfield Avenue site.
Meanwhile, on the south coast, Victorious Festival is on with music, comedy and family entertainment. Natalie Baugh is live at South Sea Common for us. And Natalie, this event now in its 10th year.
Yes, it is, and normally things here on the Friday kick off a bit later, but today the entertainment started at midday and there is a packed lineup. Victorious has grown and grown since it started in 2013. Back then it was set in the historic dockyard. Now 170,000 people are expected to attend this event here on South Sea seafront.
The sun is shining and these festival goers couldn't wait to get through the gates. Set against the backdrop of the Solent, this year's Victorious has 13 stages, so there's something for everyone.
I feel as if it's really chilled at the minute and well organised.
This is my first festival ever. I've got my good friends here with me and they've said this is a good one to go to. We're doing the VIP. Have a good time.
We like Jamiroquai. I think we've seen him before, but we can't tell you what festival or where we were or who we were with.
I'm really looking forward to the acts, and the accessibility is just incredible. It's just, the atmosphere is just, I'm really looking forward to it.
One of my favourite singers, Ellie Goulding, we're listening to her tomorrow, so I'm really excited to listen to her.
Headline acts include Jamiroquai, Kasabian and Mumford & Sons. This the folk rock band's only UK gig this year.
Yeah, it's amazing. We've kind of grown it organically, basically trying to make sure that everybody here has the best time ever, and we've always aimed to put Portsmouth on the map.
As well as the big headline acts, Victorious prides itself on giving local talent a chance to perform.
Thank you so much, everyone.
There's nothing like having people that have followed you in your journey, you know, whether they've heard you on local radio stations or whether they've come to one of your gigs or whether it's friends and family. It's the most amazing thing to look out and see. Hopefully a sea of people which have come to see you perform.
Being a family-friendly festival, there's also plenty to do for the kids, from arts and crafts to face painting and circus skills. And British Sign Language interpreters will be at some of the main stages throughout the weekend. With 170,000 people heading to Victorious, the council says the event is a boost to tourism, with a third of people attending staying in local hotels.
It brings huge economic impact to the city, something around a total impact of about £20 million a year. And, you know, that's a big deal for us. Tourism is so important to the local economy, and Victorious has become a massive part of that.
The festival also supports lots of local charities. Last year, more than £127,000 was donated. And like many other big festivals, Victorious is doing its bit to help climate change.
Plastic straws are banned across the site, and traders are encouraged to use packaging and cutlery that can be recycled. Thank you. And what's a festival without food? This is the Neighbourhood Eats area designed to showcase the city's local traders, and it all looks and smells incredible.
And if you can move after all that food, why not have a go at some beach soccer, where the England's women's team will be holding taster sessions.
So a lot going on this weekend, and every year Victorious gives a local band the chance to win the ultimate band experience, including a tour bus and crew. And this year's winners are Crystal Tides. Guys, nice to meet you.
Hello. Hello.
Now, you've been at a lot of festivals this summer, but you've come home. That must have felt incredible.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing.
And you've been around and looked at some of the other stages. What's the atmosphere been like there?
The whole festival has just been incredible, and we love playing here. It's just always great.
So what are you guys looking forward to over the weekend? Who are you looking forward to seeing perform?
Really excited for the vaccines and Jamiroquai.
Yeah. What about you?
The exact same.
Yeah? Great. Fab. Well, in total, 90 acts will take to the stage across the weekend. Let's just hope the weather holds out, but if it doesn't, I've come prepared. Check it out, Matt and Sangeeta.
It suits you, Natalie, and I love that skirt. Fantastic. Have fun.
We were talking about the hats on the programme yesterday, weren't we? It's a big thing.
It is clearly the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get one, because I'm a bit of a fashion victim like that. I mean, obviously you wouldn't know that looking at me.
I think it would suit you. It would really suit you.
I'll put a picture of me somewhere. Okay. Now, what would you say is the secret to a long and healthy life?
Well, bucket hats, obviously.
Obviously, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Well, a 103-year-old woman from Sussex puts it down to a daily walk.
Yes, Renee Bush covers 5 laps of a large garden at her nursing home in Upper Beeding near Shoreham every day. She's convinced it keeps her mind and her body fit. Tom Savidis has been to meet her.
She may almost be 104 years old, but Renee Bush is showing no signs of slowing down. Every morning, without fail, she ventures out into the fresh air for a brisk walk.
I love walking. I feel it's very therapeutic. If I can get out and walk round, I'm happy.
She covers at least 5 laps, sometimes more, in the garden of Valerie Manor Nursing Home in Upper Beeding. Her energy knows no bounds. What do you enjoy about it?
Well, I just enjoy the countryside and the walking and the fresh air.
Renee was born in 1919. She turns 104 on Christmas Eve. She's one of 3 children. Her brother and sister have both passed away. She tells me she has no intention of giving up her daily strolls. Today it's a gloriously sunny day.
It's lovely.
Do you go out in all weather?
Yes, I try to. Yes, even in the winter I go out, put some warm clothes on and get out. I feel once you stop, you've had it.
Renee is an inspiration to both the residents and staff at the nursing home, who can't keep up with her enthusiasm. Is she the most energetic resident you've had?
Oh, by far. I was just mentioning long ago, we just had a walk in the high downs and it left me exhausted trying to catch up with her pace. Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. But will my legs still carry me when I'm 103? Tom Savidas, ITV News, Upper Beeding.
Renee also wearing a very fetching hat. It's just us that aren't fashionable.
I will be on Monday.
Okay, it's just me that
See
isn't
it on Tuesday.
Anyway, let's get a check on the bank holiday weekend forecast. With the details, here's Chris.
Whatever the weather, it always feels like home. Valent Heat Pumps and Boilers sponsor ITV Meridian Weather.
Hello there. Very good evening to you. There has been a little bit of sunshine across much of the region through today. A gorgeous start first thing this morning nonetheless. But for the bank holiday weekend, it was a much fresher feel today, and that fresh feel will continue through the weekend. Still with some sunny spells, but also thrown in will be some scattered showers, but it is a bank holiday after all. And that's because low pressure is in control of the weather through the weekend. It tends to ebb away as we head towards Sunday. This little feature creeps in from the north and west, which could bring some showers still as we go through Sunday afternoon. But it's actually by Monday, the area of high pressure to the southwest here nudges its way in, killing off a lot of the showers and brings us a much drier day to come. So we pick up on still, we've got some sharp showers around at the moment, likes of Oxfordshire here. Still, some of those showers could be quite torrential in places with some hail or thunder for a time. But as we head towards dawn, most of us see some clearer skies and temperatures come in between 12 and 13 degrees. A little shallow mist and fog to start first thing tomorrow, chilly in the countryside as well, and then we start to see daytime heating get to work. That will set off some further showers, most of them away from coastal areas. So coastal areas should be a good place to go tomorrow to stay mostly dry, but still some of them could be on the heavy side with some hail and thunder and highs of 19 to 20 degrees. As we go towards Sunday, still with the risk of showers, but they become fewer and further between by the afternoon. Dry for most on Bank Holiday Monday. Bye-bye.
Valent Heat Pumps and Boilers sponsor ITV Meridian Weather.
And that is it from us for this evening. In a moment, of course, the ITV Evening News with Lucrezia Millarini tonight.
For now, though, from the team here, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great bank holiday, and we will both be back here on Tuesday. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.